Hi there, my name is Hutton and I'm the founder of Beyond M&A, and just making this video just to talk about the different types of buyers and how it may impact your technology due diligence. Very niche subject here. And in particular, um, if we take it from the very high level, most teams that we meet with, their growth plan in the technology team probably doesn't meet the investors' plan because things become a little bit more aggressive post deal in a good way, right? I mean, there's just opportunity to do more. So maybe the plan, the reporting, and the KPIs you have today may have to be adapted. And why not look at that before the deal goes through? So if we're going to be doing that, then ahead of this, you need to be asking yourself three very broad questions, which are things around, the basic ones. If there were no financial restrictions, what would you do? If you could build new products or increase R&D spending, what would you do? And lastly, if your customer base was increased by, say, 100%, what would happen? What would need addressing? For instance, how many more staff would you need? So, yeah, if we look specifically at trade buyers, well, they often work within your industry and you probably even know them. But one of the aspects that we see is that the assessment tends to be, there's less time spent on it because you know each other, or at least know each other's industry. But a shorter period of time means probably not as many things disclosed, and also some assumptions made either side. And I've been on plenty of post-deal projects where things haven't been disclosed properly, and it really stops things from working well between the two teams, and also can be quite expensive, right? So my number one tip there is to don't assume that the buyer knows everything about the business or has a very slick M&A process, and bring up anything you think will need addressing post deal. And specifically for trade buyers, think about what's their M&A strategy. What have they done with prior acquisitions? Is the technology to be left or standalone, or is it going to be part of the integrated brand? And what parts of your product or elements of it are going to be reduced, sunsetted, whatever it's going to be? Have a think about the impact of your team and tech stack. On the other side, on the private equity side, we see them as the financial wizards, and they may already have experience in your industry, but generally the process will be slightly longer, but very intense in that period. They may ask for more from your team, really, in terms of the due diligence consultants. And really, we just suggest think about a shift in pace. Number one, your roadmap needs to be showing value attribution. How are you driving value? Number two, the pace will increase rapidly. We've got lots of experience ourselves and stories of working with portfolio. And lastly, you have this thing where you've got increased pace and increased governance. So think about the expectations on you and your team. And whatever you do, just remember to please try and think about the type of buyer and align your narrative and how you present your tech to whether they're a trade or a private equity investor. And you may end up talking to both, right? So as a high level, understand your buyer's intentions and what's of interest to them. And lastly, be prepared for scaling and planning for something a bit more aggressive than what you were doing before. So yeah, very high level. You can read the blog. There's a graphic as well that compares them as the two different scenarios. And if you would like to understand any more, please feel free to reach out with the details here. My name is Hutton, the founder of Beyond M&A. Cheers.